I'm Tyler Suiters in the Energy News Center. Despite the global recession, the renewable energy sector saw growth in 2009. It added jobs and capacity as well, in part because of government tax credits and backing from the White House. Now, some industry leaders in that sector want that help extended. Clean Sky's Dan Goldstein is in our newsroom with a closer look. Dan?
Yeah, Tyler, and definitely it was a good year for the renewables industry, in part because they didn't have to make some of the cuts to the bone that we saw, especially in some sectors of the energy industry and the economy in general. Geothermal, wind, solar, biomass, all got a boost from the White House, especially from the Recovery Act. In fact, the conference call of renewable energy leaders today said that they might have had to make as many as 40,000 jobs cuts if it were not for the for the Recovery Act that was passed last February. Now, this is starting to actually show up in some of the numbers. Check this out from the EIA. The EIA says that generation from renewable resources jumped 9% last year to more than 368 billion kilowatt hours. That's up from more than 338 billion in 2008, and the EIA expects that to rise by 15% in 2010 to 424 billion kilowatt hours. That is driven, of course, by renewables. Primarily, those are onshore wind and biomass. But today, those renewable energy leaders did say that the expansion could be in jeopardy unless some of the tax breaks they got from 2005 to 2009 are extended. And the biggest one they talked about is the $2.3 billion they got in new clean energy manufacturing tax credits. That is the Section 48C program that gives investors 30% tax credit for the investments that they make in renewable energy. And the leaders today on the call said that losing some of these key tax credits that fueled this renewable boom could keep private investment on the sidelines. And the way they say basically the private sector will have confidence in them if they get these extended.
We need an extension of the Treasury grant program. This was created in the Recovery Act. We need at least a 2-year extension. It works. It doesn't cost the federal government any money, and it's critical to help bring financing back into the renewable energy space. The second is we need an expansion and extension of the manufacturing tax credits. Again, this was created in the Recovery Act and had a huge impact. 60 new factories in the United States are going to be receiving funding just in the solar industry alone from this particular provision, and is absolutely critical that we continue to support new manufacturing in the United States in the same way that other countries do. The third is to restore the $2 billion that was borrowed from the DOE loan guarantee program that helped fund the Cash for Clunkers program. It's great that the Cash for Clunkers program was so successful. It's critical that that money comes back as intended to support loan guarantees for renewable energy projects.
Yeah, and Tyler, also one key thing too, they also want something called a clean energy bank. We've heard of this before, and you might be able to make the argument that the Department of Energy with the loan guarantee program it's got going on is that bank. But remember, these are only loan guarantees, and that money has to come from somewhere else. And right now, private investment just isn't there, Tyler.
Dan, tax credits and clean energy banks aside, the real policy push from the renewable sector is renewable energy standard, correct? That's what they're really looking for right now from Congress.
Right, absolutely. And one of the things that they want more than anything is they do want the cap and trade program. They want something similar to what's in the Waxman-Markey bill or Kerry Boxer, but they are realistic and they say they may not be able to get that now. What they do want is a renewable energy standard. They think if they can get a standard that's somewhere around 25% renewables nationwide, that is going to go a long way into getting them where they want to be, especially with the private sector. That will give, they think, the private sector the confidence to invest in them for the long term. Tyler.
And we could see that Senate climate legislation sometime next month. Dan Goldstein reporting. Thanks a lot, Dan. And thank you for being with us. I'm Tyler Suiters. You're watching Clean Skies News.